Hey guys, this is Mike Tarallo with Qlik. If you ever wanted to pull data from a JSON structure that might be stored in your database, stay tuned with me and I'll show you how on the next Do More with Qlik Tips and Tricks edition. Alrighty, so to get started, we're going to start out with the data source. In this case, I'm using Azure SQL, and I have a column in my table named image, and that data is stored with a JSON value. So I'm going to select that value and I'm going to copy it. And the reason I'm doing this is to show you there are some validation tools out there. One that I particularly use here is called JSON Online Validator and Formatter. So it's at jsonlint.com. Let me reduce my zoom. And basically this just validates that the JSON that is in the value is validated and appropriate. So I use this to verify that. And when you click Validate JSON, you'll see JSON is valid. That just gives me the comfort to know that I'm not dealing with any erroneous structures. In a future video, we'll talk about nested JSON and different hierarchies, and I already have an example created that I can show you. I will cover that in another video. Right now, this is just going to be extracting these individual key value pairs and making them accessible within a Qlik Cloud Analytics app. So I'm after this source. So this is actually a URL to a particular image, and this is publicly available, in this case inside a Shopify platform, and you can see it's just a picture of a product. Now keep in mind, in order to do this within Qlik Cloud Analytics, inside the Qlik Management Console, you must have a content security policy directive set up, in this case to allow the image source directive to be accessible from the origin, in this case cdn.shopify.com. I have that set up already in my tenant. Okay, so we spoke about the JSON validator, we spoke about having the content security policy set up, and you know that that image is publicly available. But what's going to happen is we're going to utilize this structure here. And I'll zoom in and you can see I have JSONGET, the field name, and then the path. And this is just a simplistic single level JSON structure that we're going to extract that path from. I'm going to show that to you in real time and we're going to break it down. And the ultimate example that I have here, let me just reduce this, go to my sheets, and please keep in mind that my view here is one of the updated views that is coming soon to Qlik Cloud Analytics. This is just a new navigation view, and I'll be explaining more about this later. Okay, so I'm just going to go to Product Catalog. Okay, this is just a simplistic example, creating, for example, a order information or a product information view. So here I select the product, and you can see product name, quantity sold, total sales, and we're also going to get some other information from that JSON structure, such as the date it was created and the GraphQL, just to provide additional information. And this is created with the layout container as well, and using show hide conditions. So any product I select, we get additional information for that product. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go directly into the load script. Now this can be done in master items as well, but I do want to show you pulling in the data. Okay, and utilizing this view and looking at the products table, you can see that I'm loading in the image from that database. You can see it's all it is. This is basically just loading that image, which is that full JSON structure. And I'm naming it JSON image info. And then I'm doing a PURGECHAR, which I'll explain in a moment, JSONGET image, and then the path, in this case src, as image URL. So that's all that's happening here. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to navigate to the new sheet I created for this particular example. And I'm just going to grab a custom object. We're going to go to the visualization bundle. We're going to grab the straight table. I'm going to add a column. So the first column we're just going to add is going to be the JSON image info. So you can see what that structure looks like complete. And you can see it's that full JSON string. So next, I'm going to go in and I'm going to create a custom expression. And I'm just going to use JSONGET. You can see the autocomplete will help fill that in. And the name of the full field that has the JSON in it. In this case, as you remember, it was JSON image info. And then the path, single tick /src, single tick, and then close. And that's it. And just to go back to the JSON validator that I showed you, we're basically just kind of iterating through this. We're just pulling out this path here to pull out this value here. So we're referencing this key with /src and then pulling out this value. And as I mentioned, this JSONGET function can be done in the chart level or can be done at the script level. So I'm just going to click apply, and you're going to see now we just pulled out the source, but notice it's wrapped within double quotes. So we don't want that. That's what the PURGECHAR does. So I'm just going to go back in and edit that, and I'm going to wrap that expression with PURGECHAR. And then what do I want to purge? Single tick, double quote, single tick, close, parenthesis, and click apply, and now the double quotes have been removed. Now, PURGECHAR, JSONGET, JSON image is now the full image URL that I showed you over here earlier, okay, or one of those particular images. So what I'm going to do now is we're just going to change the representation of this text and turn it to an image inside the straight table, and you can see now it's an image. So let's clear up this JSON image info field. We don't need that anymore. And then what we're going to do is go to Appearance, Styling, Chart, and we're going to change the content font size to about 300. And that's now the size of that image. Now, combining this with styling in the layout container, basically what you are creating, you can create an example similar to like I showed you in the beginning. Within the product catalog. Okay, so now we're just going to take this one step further. We're just going to pull out some additional information, such as the image created in the GraphQL. And that can be also done within the script level. And I already have two examples here. I'm just going to uncomment these. And you can see here, I'm doing the same exact structure, and we're looking for created at, and then admin GraphQL API _ ID. And you can see the paths right here. That's all we're doing right there. And technically speaking, you don't need to have all of these in your data model. I just did this for example. I really just needed one. In this example, the image URL, I don't need to have the full image or the JSON as part of my data structure, but I did it for the example here. So now we're going to do a load. Okay, the data has been loaded, and now you can see we have our image created and our GraphQL values now part of our analytics dashboard. And that's going to be completely dynamic depending on which values that we choose. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if viewing from the Qlik YouTube channel, or follow me on LinkedIn for more content such as this. Make sure to turn on your notifications so you never miss any updates. See you in the next video. Take care.